Hello, everyone. This is your host, Irsa Khalid, and I welcome you all to another exciting and interesting episode of Conversation with the Diplomat by Diplo TV. Diplo TV is an initiative of the Diplomatic Insight, which is Pakistan's premier foreign policy and diplomacy platform for over 17 years now. We believe in peace through informed dialogue, and this show is one of the flagship initiatives to further that vision. My dear fellows, history is often taught through dates and documents, but it is lived through people. For a diplomat, a career is not measured in years, but in a human ledger of shared meals, peculiar challenges, and the unique privilege of witnessing history from the front row. It is a life of firsts, first impressions, first assignments, and the first time a stranger's country starts to feel like home. In this episode of Conversation with the Diplomat, we are stepping away from the blueprints of policy to look at the person holding the pen, to discuss the patience, the persistence, and the personal path that led them to a career of building bridges across borders. Today, we are joined by a very special guest, Her Excellency Aqsa Nawaz, Ambassador of Pakistan to Djibouti. Greetings to you, Your Excellency.
Yes, Walaikum Salam. Thank you very much.
We are really honored and grateful to have you on this show. Uh, Let me introduce you to our audience first. With an extensive and diverse career in Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Aqsa Nawaz brings with her over 2 decades of diplomatic experience. Prior to her current assignment, she served as the Consul General of Pakistan in Milan. She has also held key leadership roles at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including Director General for Central Asian Republics and West Asia, as well as Director for Afghanistan and Europe. Her diplomatic journey spans significant international postings, including serving as consular and deputy head of mission at the Embassy of Pakistan in Bangkok, where she also represented Pakistan as deputy permanent representative to UNESCAP. Earlier in her career, she contributed at the Pakistan Permanent Mission to the United Nations in New York and at the Embassy of Pakistan in France. Ms. Aksa, welcome to Diplo TV. My first question to you is, tell us about your personal life. How did it all started? What a young girl had her dreams and what she wanted to achieve in life.
yes, thank you, Isa. It's more like a personal interview than a professional one, I guess. So I would start like it was basically from the very beginning a job search. But I was very interested to make some mark in the public sector jobs. And it was very clear to me that I would like to become someone who could, do something for the country. It was my passion to serve the public in the public sector. And instead of a like if you have to do some job, then this should be the public sector job, not the private sector job. So this was my mindset. I was from the childhood a very disciplined child, and even my family and friends, they thought that I should be going to the government jobs, especially this field, the CSS field, and the civil service, you can say. So this was in my mind, but I was very much oriented to become a lecturer as well. So I was struggling to become a professor, a scientist, and I was studying botany. But it is very difficult to get a government job in Pakistan, and especially at that time when we were studying and we were in the universities. So I was not able to get lectureship job at that time. It was very hard, and government jobs were normally closed. They were not open for a long time. So in the meanwhile, I decided that I should prepare for CSS then, and then fortunately I succeeded, and I got this foreign service there, and that's the way I entered in this field. Yeah.
Sure. There is a big difference between botany and foreign service.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
tell me about this transition, this shift, what made you think that, okay, you can switch your career maybe to civil services and you chose foreign service as your main career? So, tell us about something.
Yes, as I told you, Irsa, that both things were in my mind. From the job perspective, public sector had always attracted me. It has already attracted me because it gives you opportunity to serve your nation, not just to earn money, but money but for a special some purpose. So that is why I was. It was always in my mind. And of course, the study of science which I was doing, and I was very much inside deep research, and I got distinctions as well from my university and colleges where I was studying. So it was not a switch. It was rather, I would say, by chance, because I couldn't get a job in as a lecturer, and instead the time was going, and I thought that I need a job. I should be applying for at other places then. So I applied, and then to the I started preparing for the CSS then, and I got it then. So that's why it was switched from that. And still, sometime I missed my my the research, the scientific research with that I was doing. But this is another type of job, the civil service, which is totally different from serving as a professor, as a scientist. But it has its own interest, and that I have developed, and both things were in my mind together, by the way. Yeah. So
Sure.
it's not a big switch. It's not a big switch.
Yeah, it didn't.
Both were in my mind to do. Hmm.
So you chose one path and
Yeah.
decided to go on that. And it
Yeah.
is good that you should have a plan B or you should have diverse interests so that you
Yes.
can excel in the other field, if not the
Yes.
first
Because
one.
in practical
Yeah,
life, it is not always possible that whatever you are thinking to become, it will happen. So
exactly.
that's why you should remain, you would come in the practical life with an open mind. So this is the thing.
We should always be open for options.
Yes.
When you look back at your younger self entering the foreign service, what mindset
Hmm.
helped you survive and grow? What personal principle has guided you through like every posting, maybe?
It was actually, as I told you before, that one thing was that the spirit of serving the nation, that somehow you can do something for the people. Though foreign service not in a very direct way, but indirectly, definitely many policies that comes from above. They are usually they are determined in the international arena, and from there, many policies come downwards, and then they are implemented in different forms. Even some policies become law. So that's this was a spirit that I can contribute something to my country, to the foreign policy, to the way we interact with other countries. So this was one thing, and this is still there. And secondly, I think that uh, it was I always was interested also to interact with the people and learning new cultures, and to know them more. So this also helped me coming forward, and especially to the celebrate or project the diversity, the beauty in diversity, because I believe that there is a beauty in diversity, and we should not be afraid of diversity. That this is another nation, and this is my nation. So we should come out of this mindset, and we should be celebrating and appreciating actually diversity. So when you start appreciating diversity, and you start accepting the other cultures, that I think I have learned gradually in the foreign service. And before it was only an interest, but now I know how it happens. So this is, I think, something which propel you in your career as well.
So, speaking of diversity, are you mesmerized by diversity? What is your take on diversity? And what do you think about this whole concept in experience as you are experiencing and have experienced throughout your life?
It's a this the entire world, the entire universe is made by Allah Almighty. He has made every nation different and every human being different. So they have different set of life. They have different set of norms. They have different set of values, and the nature as well. They have each country, each nation has different landscape, has different weather, had different cultures. So, and this is all is beauty. If monotony would have been something good, then Allah Almighty would have made all people similar. But this is not the case. We see one nation is of different kind, one is of different kind, people are different. So that is why this is something that gives you, this force to know this. I would say a quest that what is different in the other cultures, and how they are surviving, what are their norms and values, how they contribute to the reality and truth of life. So I think this is a very interesting part of our jobs, our work, and this gives you also, I think it teaches you a lot. It teaches you flexibility of mindset, acceptance, and respect for other cultures. This is, I think, I learned from my service, serving in different part of the world, and going for different objectives that your foreign ministry gives you to to achieve. So you have to interact with people, you have to learn languages even. So uh, because wherever you go, you have to communicate, and you then try to find ways how to you communicate with people and how you can make them comfortable with you. For that thing, you start learning their culture, their histories. So I have been to, I think, uh, all continent except, definitely Antarctica. But
Okay.
I had been, now I am in Africa, and before I was in Europe, and I was also in Asia and Far East also, from Bangkok. That is why I think I know a little bit of these, cultures, and broadly that how the cultures and people of these countries, and everywhere it is totally different. Everywhere it is totally different, and it makes you nearer to the people, which is,
Right.
I think, one very important factor of foreign policy, or even making any public policy, because unless you don't know the people, you cannot go ahead. You cannot, make some substantive and right decisions
You
for
cannot
that.
break the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. You need to know them first, and then you can, do something else, whatever you're targeting. Yes.
As you have mentioned that you have been to all the continents, all these places, um, what will you describe? How will you describe the core of human beings around the world in your eyes?
Everyone, there is many things which are common in all human beings, that everyone wants a respect. Everyone wants, to be understood, to be listened. So in my service, one of our big job is to, to listen first. This is part of the first point in the negotiations, or the way we start conversations, that you listen first. So people build their trust and their confidence. It is built when you start respecting people. So I saw that there is a, of course, there are cultural differences, there are language barriers, but people are not very different from this perspective. And when we found common grounds, and when we found we can, on these bases, we can find, the similarities between two nations, two countries, and then we can build on these things. So this is something I think that people everywhere are similar. They need food. Or everybody needs food. Everybody needs a transport, a home, shelter, and
Right.
health facilities, basic education. So these are also something which are common in all cultures. By one way or the other, our needs, our responsibilities are very same. Only the cultural differences is just the way of expression. It's a way of expression which is different, and actually it depends upon the weather. When I am living in a country which has a hot climate, you will wear some different clothes, and you will eat
Right.
some different things, because it will suit your health and your physical requirements over there. So this will make another kind of a culture, whereas the human being will be the similar. And in other part, when you are in some countries which are very cold, in those countries you will wear something different, very different. You will drink very different, you will eat very different. So these are the things which are differences are, I would say, actually very actually shallow. When you go deeper inside the human beings, then you find similarities, and these similarities are, as I told you, that their basic needs are to be fulfilled. They should feel safe with you. They should feel comfortable with you. This is similar everywhere. If you succeed in doing this thing, I think you are a good negotiator, and you are a
Of
good,
course.
you should know how to start conversations with the foreign cultures, and these are
Exactly.
points there. Yeah.
Uh, Tell us something about Djibouti. Anything unique about the people of the country, or a cultural practice, or anything regarding the environment which you have noticed
It's
and have interested you the most.
It's
Yeah,
this is like when now I'm in Africa. So before coming to Africa, I had no idea, and in that how African are, because usually in Pakistan we do not focus much, unfortunately, on African countries and on African people, and we are very much focused to certain countries only. So it broadens when you are in African country, it broadens your scope, your mindset, and your understanding of these people, that they are not very different. Before that, I was very afraid of like what kind of people they would be. When you meet them outside of the of Africa, they don't have a good name, and people are afraid of Africans. They because they don't know much about them. But this is not the case. In Djibouti, when I'm here, I can see that these are very nice people. They interact with you just as usual as other people interact. They have the same cultures. They have the same celebrations, and they enjoy it just like you. And they have problems and issues just like any other country. So this is my experience in Djibouti is very enriching for me, that it's giving me a total new perspective of this continent and knowledge. So I think that is why this is for a foreign service person, a diplomats, it is important to go in different part of the world to know the difference. The same is the case when I was in my first posting in Bangkok. That was in East Asia. So
right.
I'm not talking about my postings and my presence in the Europe, because this is very common. Everybody knows about them and these areas, and we keep on trading with them, interaction with them. But in Far East, even we have little interactions. So there, I saw the East Asian culture truly. What was that? And even the Chinese influence, the Japanese influence. So all these influences, then you learn that they are totally different cultures and full civilizations, and you need to be among them to know more, and then you can give a good feedback to your capitals as well. So that's why that's the way I learn in my field.
You have mentioned that we are not, there's a certain narrative about African people and the African countries, and we are not much
Yes.
aware of these people, these countries, these places. And in my previous interviews from the ambassadors who are serving Africa, they have told me
Hmm.
the same thing and repeated it numerous times. What do you
Hmm.
think? What is the baseline behind it? Why is it so? Do we have a certain narrative because those narratives were being built
Yes.
against those countries, or this
Hmm.
is solely our, thing that we have, pictured them in a certain manner? So who's
It's a
responsible
human
for
nature.
that?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think it's a human nature. It's that human nature always go first toward the easiest path, easiest way, and beauty. They are impressed by beauty as well. So Africa, from many perspective, is a continent which has left behind because of the same fact. They are not being entertained as equals, and they have observed. They have passed through a long history of apartheid and discrimination, racial discrimination. So this has been the history of Africa. Because of this, they are not paid much attention. They were not. But now, with the passage of time, with the growth of media, with so much awareness around everybody, and the participation of African people in many international bodies, and with other cultures and international job markets, so now their talent is coming forward, and people know that they are not, they must not be discriminated, and they are just equal as the other people on this earth, and color does not matter, and it
exactly.
should not matter. It should not matter, even in international community, or in Western world, sometimes other than the white color, all other colors are discriminated. But this is a very specific, or I would say old mindset, which is now being changed, and now there is a greater acceptance because of the media and awareness and all these smart technologies that we are interacting, and we see that color doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, color doesn't matter. The thing matter is, what matters is the talent you are carrying, and that is inherent, that is natural, that is with you. So this is something which is now changing the world, and the world is becoming a global village now. So we are in this regard, I would say that we are living in fortunate times, and we have progressed a lot as a culture, as a multipolar culture.
Okay.
Yes.
So, according to your experience and perspective, what makes a true diplomat?
It's a very difficult question, because what do you mean by a true diplomat? If you want to say a successful diplomat,
Exactly.
diplomacy is a process. It's a process. It is like your own ambition is also part of it, and your objective is part of it, and how you perceive your foreign policy, and then how you think to implement that. And it's a creative job as well, I would say. It's not very monotone kind of a thing. It's a creative job, the way you implement and express your policies, and interact with people. It's not only the interaction with the foreign countries, it is also to project your country as well, which is the first and foremost thing for Pakistan, because still Pakistan is not known much in the common people. In other words, maybe the governments and the people at higher level, policymakers, they know about Pakistan, but in many other parts, in many other people, at common person level in this world, it is not known much, because there is poverty, there is a lack of information and awareness about the world. in different countries and different parts of the world. So our job is very diverse. It is from, implementing and projecting your own country's interest and foreign policies, securing your interest, your economic and trade, defense matters, and also your community interest. Above all of them, also to project your country, to make your right image, to correct the misunderstandings. So this is also a big part of a diplomat's job for us. So to be a true diplomat, you should be able to uh, you know uh, I would say control or project everything which is in your bag, which is come as a task with you. So it's a multiple task game. It's a multiple task game. You must be a multitasker and very active, energetic person, or bring some energy in your work to motivate other people also, to tell them about your nation, to project your own culture as well, to or and it's not a one-sided business that I learn the other cultures, I learn or I see the other cultures. The other side of the story is that I also have to present them my culture, present them our own ideologies, and my people and my nation, that who are
Raise
Pakistan. Yes, that who are Pakistanis and how they can be useful for you, how we can build bridges among both of us. Like all of us, if you are sitting in a multilateral environment, then how we can all benefit from something. And I think it's a very good job in this respect, because it is of linking people, it is joining people, it is of finding the bridges and building these solid platforms to make people to come near each other, to come close to each other, to understand each other, because this is the only way of stopping aggressions and wars. Why war happens? When there is no communication. Why wars happens? Because when there is a lack of understanding of each other. And when there is a lack of understanding, then a fear develops. You start fearing, you start fear from other countries and other nations, and this fear ultimately end up in a war. Ultimately, if you are a powerful nation, if you have weapons, and then definitely, and you are afraid of the other people, this is a small thing which ultimately ends up in conflicts. And you should be open to accept new cultures. If you have any hindrance to accept new cultures, and you have some very fundamental ideas about others, then you need to be a little bit flexible. You have to change your mindset. And in the lifestyle job also means that even your conduct and your dressing, your attire is affected. Your food habits are to be affected, because you will not be eating always your own food. You have to appreciate the other country's food as well. You have to appreciate, whichever culture and country you are sitting, that to eat their food, to use some of the stuff they are using, to this part of this foreign service job. So those new aspirants must know that these will be requirement, and there are the sacrifices. This will not be always a very rosy picture. Sometimes there are uncertainties, there are great pressures in this job. And people do not know much about it. Our young generation, not only the young generation, but a lot of Pakistanis and in other cultures, even people don't know much about diplomacy and diplomats and their work. And they think of us very this somebody only enjoying.
those people. Yeah.
Yes, and that like they do not understand diversity, complexity, and difficulties of our work, which is highly complex, highly pressured, highly work under high pressure. Because when you are working with the high ups, you have to be under sometimes it's super pressure, because you have to not only to bring the results, but you need to be very careful in your talk with the foreign dignitaries and your counterparts, because if you talk something which is not according to your own policies, then it can go and backfire. So that is why this job need a lot of careful handling. So people don't know much about these things. You're from with the help of a platform like you, which that you have introduced. I think the understanding among new young people, especially who want to join the foreign service or come in this field, or somehow related to this field, will greatly help. And in this way, that I would definitely ask you to continue as you are continuing, and improve it as much as you can.